Assalamu alaikum to all viewers. This is Asad Qazi with new episode with new guest. तो आज जो हमारे गेस्ट हैं, he is basically engineer. He did BE from NED University. He started his career from Mondelez. उसके बाद अबू दाऊद में इन्होंने काम किया और currently रोश पाकिस्तान के साथ as a distribution manager काम कर रहे हैं. He also did MBA from Karachi IBA और 6 around plus years experience है इनका. और बहुत कम ऐसे लोग हैं जो सप्लाई चेन स्ट्रेटेजिक लेवल डिसीजंस के कोई रोल परफॉर्म कर रहे होते हैं और ही इज करंटली डूइंग. तो दिस इज गुड थिंग. और आज हमारा टॉपिक भी यही होगा कि स्ट्रेटेजिक लेवल पे जो सप्लाई चेन रिलेटेड प्रॉब्लम्स हैं या फैक्टर्स हैं जो डिसीजन मेकिंग में अफेक्ट करते हैं वो इनसे डिस्कस करें. तो थैंक यू बिलाल भाई फॉर योर टाइम.
Thank you so much, Asad, for having me in your show. Regarding the supply chain strategy question you just mentioned, I would say that there is no universal definition of good or bad strategy. It can never be. It all depends where the organization want to see itself in the upcoming future. What is the organization mission? What is the organization vision? What is the value? And how they formulate their corporate strategy. So what I believe is that every supply chain manager and the supply chain head of the organization should understand what the what is the organization corporate strategy, how they can better align themselves with the corporate strategy of the organization in order to better deliver the service requirements that may ultimately lead to the success of organization. So my first request to all the viewers of this video is that never ever develop your strategy in isolation than the rest of the business. Always tie yourself with the business first and then think about how you can deliver the strategic objectives for the organization, in which there are several factors which which plays their role in formulating this strategy of supply chain. For example, you have to analyze what is your market, who are your customers, and what are their requirements. What is the competitive advantage that your company is going with in the market? What is the customer segmentation your organization has defined? Then you can better align yourself with that, and then you can better devise the supply chain goals accordingly. There may be a lot of decisions related to it. For example, on the basis of these all things which I just mentioned, you may have to decide either you are going yourself for the distribution in the market, or you will be outsourcing this thing to some 3PL partner. So some sort of decisions like these must have to be happened in line with the organization strategy in order to succeed. Otherwise, no matter how good your supply chain strategy is, ultimately it will not lead to the desired result.
Second question is more related about the information visibility because supply chain is all about the connectivity from supplier to customers. So does information visibility affect? And if it is, then how we can improve this visibility, especially in Pakistan where we have the limited technology accessibility and understanding?
I think, Asad, we must be thankful to the technology that it has made our life much easier with the visibility of information in front of our eyes in the form of like ERP systems and the ERP system, for example, SAP, Oracle, and then we can see some KPI monitoring applications are also developed locally by some of the software houses, which provides really insightful information for the quick decision making. And what I think that in every decision making, time is really important. If you take the decision but the time has gone, then you will be lost. So with the proper visibility of information, you may better able to decide within timelines, and you can better deliver. So information visibility is very critical for all the people working in the supply chain. So I always request my peers in the working in the supply chain that invest your resources, your human resource, your financial resources to develop the visibility and to create the transparency. Because I believe the more transparent we become, the more efficiencies we can build into our systems.
Okay, but do you think that Any organization, for example, maybe they have more than 100 distributors in Pakistan, organization should invest in technology to, mutually agree with the distributor to maybe convert into the any software, maybe connectivity with SAP, with connectivity with ERP.
Yeah, I think extended modules are everywhere available, even for the locally developed softwares. So we must have to provide our suppliers with the interfaces only, so that we may create a pipeline of information across the channel, starting from supplier till the customer deliveries.
Can we consider it as an investment?
Yeah, yeah, it's absolutely an investment which will help you taking the decisions in a given moment of time, and ultimately it will bring you the fruitful results, not immediately. It's again, as I mentioned in my first question, it all depends how the organization want to see itself in the future. So if the goals of the organization are to succeed in the long run, then it must be taken as an investment.
Okay, Ji, last question from this segment, then we will go to the true and false. So, and that is again the most important question as well, how to mitigate the risk in supply chain, because especially we are, current at the time
Yeah,
of the
that
COVID-19
yeah,
as well.
yeah, that's really important question. Again, I will link this question to the first question where I mentioned that it all depends how the organization want to see itself in the future. So if the organization is too much focused on reducing the cost, so might be it may neglect the important decisions for which may help them in surviving the good and in the bad times. For example, if we have business partners and we kept on negotiating with them on just the minor cost savings, so there may be a time, for example, in the COVID-19 situation, they won't stand with you, they won't stand with the organization and help them out by going above and beyond. So in my experiences, if we really develop the good relationships with our, which is a risk, which in a sense is a risk, that if we not develop our relationship with our suppliers and business partners, they may not stand with us in the bad times. That in order to mitigate the risk, we first need to assess it. The major problem I see in the supply chains is they don't know, they don't understand, they don't assess their risk, or they may do it quite they may do it, for example, every 2 years or every 3 years, which is not appropriate. We must assess, as a supply chain managers, we must assess our risk on a regular basis, consistently. What are the risks now? What are the risks now? We have to ask ourselves this question: what are the risks? And then, once we know our risk, then we can better plan for the mitigation.
Okay, good. So let's start to the second session, that is again true and false. And I will simply quote one statement, that is supplier relationship management, or you could call it the vendor relationship management, are really good techniques, but in books, not in reality.
For every partnership, for every supplier relationship, you must ensure that the expectation on both the sides are clear. You must not take anyone for granted, and not get some short-term advantage on the cost of the long-term benefits or long-term relationship, to harm the long-term relationships. For example, I just give you an example. I've been working with a lot of business partners, with a lot of distributors. It's very easy for me to suppress their profit margins in a short run. I can do it, but I don't, because I know that might be in a shorter run I could save some amount of money to the company, but in the long run I could not count on these suppliers, or I will not be able to count on these business partners when I will be in trouble, or when I will be in need, or my organization will be in need of them. So I believe that relationships serve also in a relation, not only in making these relationships. I would also emphasize on training and development of our suppliers and business partner, so that they could see what we are seeing, our future, our vision.
Thank you, Bilal. Thank you for your time, and sure we will do it again on a different topic as well. Thanks.
Anytime, Asad. Thank you very much for having me. And once again, thank you very much.